So what's good, y'all? Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, man. So we're gonna dive into this Dez Bryant reaction video real quick, man. So the DLLS podcast network, they pulled up to the Super Bowl in New Orleans, man, and so they talked to a lot of the Dallas Cowboys legends, and Dez Bryant is one of them. So let's go ahead and dive into and see what Dez Bryant pretty much has to say, man. All right, without further ado, let's go. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel.
Cowboys ain't in the Super Bowl again, man. What's going on, man? How frustrating it is to keep coming here, sort of doing your career after your career without the Cowboys.
I mean, it is frustrating, just because, first off, let's give credit to Jerry. He built an outstanding franchise. He's done a great job, but now it's time to win. We need to win. We need to put these pieces together. Start with the coaches.
Right.
Putting the right people, within this organization, to win some games, because it's starting to get old. I think people starting to read between the lines, and we don't care. We don't care about being the richest franchise. We want to win.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And I know Jerry took care of you, and you're in his corner.
Yep.
But how much is this on Jerry? And I'm not winning 30 years now. They have not been to the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl, longest streak in the league. Everybody in the NFC, the Washington, showed up this year, went to the championship game. They changed owners, they changed coaches, they changed GMs, they get a new quarterback. They're in the championship game. How much is this on Jerry?
I mean, I think it's on Jerry because he's the leader. Right. And I'm pretty sure he got other people in place to make these decisions, but it is on him, like I said, because he is the leader. I think Jerry got to get out of his comfort zone. He got to get out of his comfort zone and really go make those necessary changes.
Comfort zone. Get out of his comfort zone. Comfort zone. And that's really a lot. It's a lot more to it, a lot more context to kind of add to that behind what Dez Bryant is saying. Like the Dallas Cowboys, bro, it's like every year, it's like we try to approach every offseason the same. We try to do the same things each and every offseason, but expect different results. Like, we can't continue to do the same thing and expect different results. You know what I mean? Like, paying your franchise, cornerstone superstars late in the offseason rather than paying them in March or April, May at the latest, you know what I mean? That plays a big factor. Like, yeah, Dak didn't have his best season starting out, but how much of the Dak Prescott having a bad season, or CeeDee Lamb injuring his shoulder, how much does that have to do with you not having CeeDee Lamb in camp early, rather than 2 weeks before the season? How much of is Dak supposed to kind of keep his composure and not throw anybody underneath the bus, or try his best to try to still be a model leader of this football team when you got his contract hanging over his head? You know what I mean? And people going to be, disappointed about how much he's getting paid and all this, and the third. Everybody else has the same, salary cap as we do. Everybody else, they don't complain, or they don't, find it frustrating to pay players. They just do it. Either you're going to trade that player and keep it pushing, or you're going to pay that player and, run it back again. But it's so many, different tools and different avenues that the Dallas Cowboys just need to tap into to get out of their comfort zone. Like, for instance, the coaching search this past offseason so far, right? So the coaching search was flawed. Why was it flawed? Like, you held Mike McCarthy hostage for a whole week just so he can say, nah, I want extra years on my contract. I don't want a 3-year deal. I want a 5-year deal minimum. And I don't want X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure it was more than just the years on the contract. It had to be some other things, too, behind the scenes. But, them expecting Mike McCarthy to bend the knee and come back and still want to coach for this team, considering how, you know what I'm saying, toxic these past 5 years have been for him. And then you missed out on possibly interviewing somebody like a Mike Vrabel. You possibly missed out on interviewing somebody like a Bill Belichick. I didn't like the Deion Sanders, the prime time, Coach Prime, bluff. You know what I mean? I knew it was cap. I knew it wasn't gonna go down. I knew the Deion Sanders thing was bluffing. The Pete Carroll call. I mean, you call Pete Carroll to kind of see, like, hey, man, like, what's your thoughts and your input on Brian Schottenheimer being the new head coach? I guess that's what the phone call was about. And not interviewing Pete Carroll. You know what I'm saying? I would have interviewed Pete Carroll for the job. I would have interviewed Belichick, Mike Vrabel. I wanted a defensive-minded head coach. I would have interviewed Aaron Glenn. I would have interviewed, what's his name? Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer deserved at least a shot. Al Harris, the work he put in, he deserved at least a shot. You know what I mean? So it's those things, like, yeah, you may get a coach that may, you know what I'm saying, want to structure and organize and run the team a certain way. But that's the uncomfort that the Dallas Cowboys need, right? In order to reestablish the winning culture, the football-first culture, the mentality that's going to triculate and transition out there on the football field. But let's continue, though.
You know, like I said, I don't know how to pronounce the head coach name.
Schottenheimer.
I call him Shotty.
Right.
You can tell me that a million times, I'm gonna call him Shotty.
Right, that's what everybody calls him, Shotty.
You know,
but that was comfort.
Yeah, that was a comfort move, and I don't think Jerry got to understand all of the comfort moves that have cost him in the past. Like, this is resembling that.
You know what I mean? And I don't think the Brian Schottenheimer is as bad as a hire is what people make it out to be. At least from an X's and O's standpoint. I don't think he's a disciplinary coach, though. I don't think he's from what, word on the street, he's a good leader of men. The guys gravitate to him in the locker room and things like that. He's able to kind of push guys a little bit to kind of motivate them to get them to do what he wants them to do, as well as, also kind of be somebody who can really relate to the players. So I think those are all green flags right there.
And like I was telling some people earlier, like, when I look at it, I'm like, okay, these guys not set up for success. That's, like I said, I can't say nothing bad about Shotty,
Right.
and I can't say nothing good about it. But my feelings is saying I don't see no success in the future.
The culture.
It's
They
not
need
there.
to change the culture. I mean,
Yep.
within the organization, is that on Jerry? Is that on the players?
I think that start up top. That starts at top. And like I said, I know some of those decisions Jerry put in place for people to make those decisions, but it do reflects on him. And I think he's just got to.
But when they're saying he putting people in places, positions to make those decisions, what people he talking about? His sons? The Dallas Cowboys is a family-owned business. Keep that in mind.
Up in front of everybody, Steven, whoever it is, hey, look, we're gonna do it this way. And I don't think he's done that. The last time he done that is when he brought Deion over.
Right.
And they won.
That was 95.
That was 95.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Jerry moving like that again, but yeah.
The players, Micah, those guys, what can they do differently to make this happen? And I know you and Micah go back and forth on Twitter. Everybody talk about the coach, what you can do. What can they do differently?
I mean, Micah can only do what he can do. Micah's a hell of a football player. Whatever players call, Micah got to go out there and do his job to the best of his ability. I don't think as much what can he do? What can Dak do? What can CD do? It ain't much more these guys can do. You get what I'm saying? It's really a up top thing.
Thank you, man. Dez Bryant, Clarence Hill. It's on Jerry.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Clarence Hill, man. He's a really good Dallas sports reporter, man. Shout out to Dez Bryant. Throw up the X. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. All right, peace.